Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Monday, the 22nd of February, comes to you from London. And quite a lot of red on the screen this morning, just the first glance. So just shows us there's a bit of a mixed picture in the markets as we start this new week. We're looking at the dollar index. It's bearish on the long-term, medium-term and short-term clouds. Remembering this is my weekly, my daily and my 60-minute chart with a corresponding point and figure charts, giving me a long-term, a medium-term and a short-term view of the market. I'm running on Refinitiv icon here, but you can easily run on any data source that you already have. Could be Bloomberg, Tradeport, Metastock, whatever you're running, you can run it into Updata. And I'm running these tracker charts here, so it allows us to look at the market. So dollar is bearish below the cloud on all three time frames, so it's still bearish. We're a bit flatter on the sideways on the 60-minute chart, but overall weaker dollar is still the theme. That means that the euro is still stronger, medium and long term, and the short-term chart is looking a little bit better. We've got an upside target not yet activated to 125.60. That's about 3.7% higher. Sterling has clearly broken the 140 level now against the dollar, giving us three-year highs. It's taking us back to the levels that we saw at Brexit at the vote. So sterling really recovering there. We've activated a new upside target to 146.70. We've got this target of 150 on the longer-term chart. Sterling really motoring. And against the euro, we're also seeing much the same picture. If we look at sterling against the euro, we're at 115.75 this morning, breaking here to easily 12-month highs, really running away on that trend. So sterling looking very strong. A lot of that to do with the vaccine data as well, of course, which you can now look at in any version of Updata as well. Taking a look at Bitcoin, we're sitting at $55,000 here, so looking strong on all three time frames. That target of 107 has been in place since we were at $46,000. Seems improbable, but that's what the targets say. Next stop, $58,000. We haven't quite got there, and then 67,800 after that. If you're trading Bitcoin, use the 1-minute point and figure charts for your shorter term targets. The S&P 500 index was down slightly on Friday, meant we had a slightly bearish week, just running out of steam there on the 60-minute chart. And if we take a look at the futures this morning, we're down 1% on the S&P future and down 1.4% on the Nasdaq future. So US markets are set to open lower. So not a good start to the week for stocks in the US. And that means that the VIX volatility is up. And we've been very flat for the last couple of weeks, jumping higher. The expectations, the fear index is just jumping higher. So the expectations are that we are going to see some weakness creeping into markets. And that means in Europe, we're down on the FTSE future by 1.33% this morning, turning short-term bearish. If we look at the cash market in Germany, we're down just under 1%. Again, turning short-term bearish, and the CAC Quarante down 0.75%. So we're also turning short-term bearish there. Japan bucking the trend. It was actually up 0.4% overnight, so that's looking a little bit stronger. But the rest of markets in Asia down. The Hang Seng down over 1% overnight, and the Chinese market down 1.5% nearly. So just still holding its strength and bullish on all three time frames, but we are just seeing some weakness creeping in there. The long-term chart's still looking great, and the Sensex, which has been a great performer on the long term, really good trends, down nearly 2%. So we're just starting to see some weakness creeping in there as well. And the Aussie market down only slightly, so that's looking a little bit better than most markets. Taking a look at commodities, we're seeing that gold is actually recovering, that market weakness creeping in, starting to push gold off the bottom. 1764 was the support level back from that low that we set in November. That's where we found support again. So there's buyers coming in, and we're moving back into short-term bullish. So it looks like that support level holding for gold. The key thing is, will we make new highs? So we need to see a reversal on this daily trend, but for the moment gold has found support. Silver also up 1% this morning. It's looking stronger on the charts. Clearly bullish on the all three time frames. So silver leading, looking pretty strong there. Taking a look at US 10-year yields, we have really jumped here. This is the big one. We're up to 1.37% on the 10-year yield. So Bond yields in the US really motoring now, and we're going to get a new upside target here that's going to be massive on this 1% move higher. So that's going to be really significant. We've had these targets. 137 was in place. That was in place back in August. That's been met now. You can't ignore these targets. So keep an eye on these targets on your charts. 153 is the next target, and we've got 154 here, 174 after that, and as I say, a new big target building. So no big surprises. We've been calling this for quite a while, and if we look at US 30-year yields, up to 2.16%, so really rocketing on the yields there. Bond markets really showing that yield changing. Now, looking at the energy markets, we've got a lot of clients in energy. We're a sea of red this morning in energy. Brent crude, we put our report out this morning to clients. Last week we were bullish crude, bearish gas and neutral power. That's now turned to neutral crude, still bearish gas, and we're now turning neutral bearish power. So keep an eye out and read that report, a 9-page report out to clients this morning. And we're seeing here crude oil is just starting to run out of steam and breaking down. If we look at nat gas, we've gone bearish on nat gas this morning. We're down 3%, breaking to new lows there. Coal is pretty bearish, and we're remaining bearish there. Emissions, we've actually gone neutral this morning, but we are running out of steam here as well. We did put out a video last week on LinkedIn where we said that we're seeing some short-term weakness in emissions, so that's coming home to roost. MBP, UK gas down 3%, making new lows. The seasonal change is really showing through, and we've been talking about that quite a lot with our clients. And we're same on TTF, we're seeing that lower. And if we look at power markets, German power down 0.4% on the cow, starting to weaken here. If we break that €51 mark, target suggesting that we will do that. That's looking pretty bearish. And if we look at the quarterly contract, that's really sinking lower. So we're seeing that. And other power markets being affected similarly, but read the report. That's the best bet for clients this morning. That's it for today. Markets not getting off to a great start for the week. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.